Hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It is that time of year again. I am so excited. It is the Magical Readathon. If you happen to not know what this readathon is, it was created by G over at Book Roast. I will link all her information down below. She created this fantastical, wonderful D&D inspired role-playing readathon game. She has created this whole immersive world where you create a character and you go to the school called Orilium. And based on your calling, which is like your major, that decides what you have to study and what reading prompts you get. My character's name is Fazira, and she is an air earthling from Eartheria. And my girl is studying to become a mage hunter. So, what I was kind of thinking with this character was kind of like an Illyrian from A Court of Thorns and Roses. So, she has these big black wings. She has purple leopard spots all over her body, like all of the earthlings do in this world. This is actually my last semester with Fazira. I have been participating in the Magical Readathon since its beginning. So this is my fourth year with Fazira, and she will be graduating this year, which is just so heartbreaking. But I'm so excited to get to create a whole new character next year. So let us get into what I will actually be reading for the month of September for the Autumn Equinox. So the autumn equinox is a little bit harder than the spring equinox. So there are three levels of reading that you have to do based on your calling. There is O level, which is ordinary, Q for qualified, and D for distinguished. So if you need an ordinary in a subject, you're only going to need to read one book for one prompt. But if you need, say, a distinguished in a subject, you are going to need three books and three different prompts. So as a mage hunter, I will need to read six books and complete six prompts in order to graduate this year. Let's start with the distinguished first. So I need a distinguished in spells and incantations. For my ordinary level, we will be learning a luck charm, which the prompt is roll a d6, and that number corresponds with the number of pages that book needs to be. And of course, I rolled a six, which means I need to find a book that is between the page numbers of 600 and 700. I've had a few ideas going into this, but after doing some research, I realized that all of the books that I was wanting to pick up for this prompt didn't quite meet the 600 page mark. But I have been in such the mood for some spicy, dark romance. It has been quite some time since I've just sat down to read something smutty and easy, and I don't know about dark romance being fun, but it's fun for me to read. So for this, I have chosen Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. This was everywhere a few years ago on my FYP on TikTok. I never got around to it back then, and I did not realize how chonky of a book this was, but it is perfect for this prompt. So, what I know of this book is there are four men who are, I think, like mob guys. They make deals and they have the reputation of not to be messed with. You do not back out on a deal with these guys. Our female main character's father actually runs up a debt with the Vipers. So, in payment, he sells his daughter to them. It is a reverse harem, which I usually just eat up. I've heard and seen that this book kind of goes there, so I'm a little nervous. I've dipped my toe into dark romance, but I'm not sure how dark I've actually went, so we will see how this one goes for me. It's been quite some time since I have just sunk my teeth into a really smutty, maybe not so plot driven book, just kind of here for the vibes, maybe not the best written, but here for the enjoyment. Although there has to be some plot going on in between these pages, considering there's like 650 of them. For qualified in spells and incantations, we will be studying current spell trends, and the prompt for this is read a book released this year. For this, I will be reading With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. I am up to date with Riley Sager. This is the only one I haven't read yet. I've pretty much enjoyed every Riley Sager that I have read so far. Some of them have definitely been more of a miss than a hit for me, but I've also really enjoyed quite a few of his works. So I am excited to check out what this new one has in store. This one is the most historical one that he's ever written before. It takes place in 1942. So the six people destroyed our main character's Anna's family. So years later, she invites all six of them on this train to confront them and try to get them to confess to their crimes. Anna just wants some justice for what was done to her and her family, but it turns into a murder mystery when one of the passengers is murdered. And even though Anna hates these people, she doesn't want them dead. So when one of them ends up murdered, she actually takes the situation into her own hands and is trying to find out who is murdering her enemies. It's definitely giving Murder on the Orient Express, so I'm excited to see where Riley Sager goes with this. I haven't loved one of his books since Home Before Dark. The others have been okay since then, but I'm really hoping that he kind of turns it around with this one. I love an isolated mystery thriller, so I'm pretty excited. For Distinguished, we are studying the Capture Moment incantation, and the prompt for that is read a book with an illustrated cover. And for this, I have chosen The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. I know this was inspired by the Chronicles of Narnia, and it is like a fairy tale, fantastical story. There are two boys from West Virginia who go missing in the woods. They don't reappear for like 6 months, and there is no explanation of where they were or how they survived or what happened during those 6 months. So, years later, as adults, Rafi has no idea what happened. He has no memory of anything that happened when they were boys, but Jeremy does remember, and he is a missing persons investigator. He finds out that a little girl went missing in the very same woods that he and Rafi went missing in. So he is helping the sister of the missing girl try to find her sister. And I think in these woods there is this like magical realm that they disappear into. And I just love a fairy tale, fantastical story. I really enjoyed stories like this in the past, kind of like Every Heart a Doorway, The Hollow Places, even though that one leans a little bit more horror. Um, I'm really excited about this one. Sydney from Sid Bookworm absolutely loved this one, and we seem to share pretty similar tastes, so I have high hopes. The next class we have is Conjuration. As a mage hunter, I need the ordinary and qualified for this class. For ordinary, we are studying conjuring circles, and for this, the prompt is to read a book with circles on the cover. For this, I will be reading A Stark View by Alexis Patterson. Another TikTok dark romance. What did I say? I am in the mood. This is an enemies to lover dark romantasy. The only thing I really know about this one is our female main character is imprisoned for a crime that she didn't commit, and the love interest is the main guard at the prison. I absolutely love this dynamic, the guard and the prisoner. I'm not gonna lie, I was just scrolling TikTok and I saw some quotes from this book and it had me hooked. I was sold. For qualified, we will be studying borrowing spells, which is read a book from another person's TBR. And what better prompt to squeeze in my guild's book club book than this one? So I will be reading A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I am part of the Mindwalkers Guild, and this is the Discord book club book that we all chose to read together. This is a young adult fantasy set at a school for magically gifted people, which makes it super fitting for this readathon. The school is super brutal, though. You either graduate or you die. And aside from just being a school for magically gifted people, this school is also just trying to kill its students. There are no teachers, no rules. You just kind of take care of yourself and survive. There are monsters lurking the halls and there are secrets abound. But our main character, Elle, comes in and she has this dark power that I guess she starts to kind of unravel the secrets of the school. This has been on my TBR since it came out in, I believe, 2020. It's just kind of been on the back burner, so I'm glad that this readathon is actually making me get to it. And lastly, I need an O in restoration. For this, we are studying the Unbroken Focus tincture, which is to read a book from a single POV. For this one, I am going to be reading Mary by Nat Cassidy. I'm not gonna lie, this may be the one I am most excited for. I have heard such good things about Nat Cassidy's work, and this is going to be my first Nat Cassidy that I'm reading. So, in this, we follow a middle aged woman named Mary. She's just a normal lady going through menopause until she starts to kind of start having panic attacks and visions whenever she looks into the mirror. She starts hearing voices in her head trying to get her to do horrible things. So after she's fired from her job in New York, she goes back to her hometown to try to kind of like recenter herself. But that seems to just make everything worse. So those are the 6 books that I am planning to read for the Autumn Equinox of Magical Readathon. I always try to fit in a little bit of extra credit here and there, especially because this semester we are going to be rescuing little homeless animals, creatures. In the spring equinox, we were actually rescuing dragons, which was just so much fun. It gave me so much more motivation to pick up my book and to read more pages so we could get to that next level of unlocking a new dragon. And this semester, we are doing the same, but it is homeless creatures. So every million pages that we read as a group, we unlock a new creature that we have rescued. I just think that is such a brilliant idea. I've loved what G has done in the past with the side quests, but this feels so much more like a community event of all of us rescuing these animals together. And I'm just so excited. Her partner Logan does all the art, and her and Logan come up with these beautiful images and these ideas. And I'm just so thankful that she created this readathon. It is so much fun. If you happen to be participating as well, please let me know about your character and your TBR down in the comments. Let me know if you've read any of these books and if you enjoyed them. And if you've made it this far and don't know what to put, give me your favorite magical emoji. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon with another one, and I hope to see you at Aurelium.